Sorry, I'm working on a bill.
Do you want me to stop recording?
No, it's fine. I'm multitasking. Alrighty. Welcome to the executive meeting. No, anyway, welcome to the other executive meeting. What we're going to talk about today is more Nebraska papers, trying to get them done. I know we skipped a week or two on the meetings. I just didn't feel like doing them. But now we're doing this week. So we got a lot of stuff to get done, so let's get it done. Right now, it's just you, Madam Clerk, but I'm expecting Senator Ross and Her Majesty to come on, but I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah. So I guess we'll go on with the Nebraska papers. I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
Not really.
I thought there was, at least on my end. No, I guess not. No, I guess not. No, alright, whatever. Anyway, well, if I'll just probably bring this up to this foreign secretary later. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the Nebraska papers. Work on the bill. We're on Nebraska paper number 8. So that's what we're on today. Let's see. I'm going to be multitasking on things here because there are things that need to be done.
I would like to make a suggestion.
What's up?
So, as we're looking through these Nebraska papers, more often than not in our previous meetings, it just looks like we're looking at our phones doing nothing in the meeting. Even though technically we're reading the papers. What if, from now on, we could either share the screen or read the papers out loud?
Well, I think I'll just read the papers out loud so nobody's personal emails will appear on the screen. That's why I had that video edit last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll read it out loud.
That way it'll get at the viewers.
I mean, I'm just going to read the annotations out loud, but the entire article you can read on your own. But I'll definitely read the annotations that we might take from. So let's work on Nebraska paper number 8.
Okay.
I love this article already.
You understand this more than I do, so I'm just reading it.
Oh, there's only 4 annotations on this paper. This is going to be short. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, let's get this one open. Don't sound like an airplane. It has to be thunder. Then again, well, the blinds are closed, so it's probably not. I don't know. I'll look outside later. All right, annotation number 4. In a reappeal of Wilkins 116, Nebraska 219, NW 9, year 1928, a legislator can receive for services as member for legislature or member of committee only compensation provided by the Constitution. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically the Constitution decides how much money a legislator can receive. Okay, that's legit.
Oh, so it's just like a minimum wage, full-time wage, etc.
Yep, we actually already have a bill in place that's been proposed to do that. If I'm correct, I think it's House Bill 10 that I'm proposing. See if I can find it. There it is. Yep, House Bill 10.
I am really surprised at how short this one is.
Let's see, this bill relates to establishing the first ever flat rate standard wage to all federal government officials regardless of roles. Yep. See, I already have a bill put in place. But however, though, it's being proposed as a statute, not really an amendment or even part of the constitutional articles of what the government can do. So, but that could be talked about in a future date. But yeah, that's basically what that one means. Annotation 3, Carpenter v. State, 179, Nebraska 628, 139, NW2D 541, year 1966. It was a practical impossibility to redistrict legislative districts without taking into consideration the staggered terms of members of legislature required by this section. Huh. I get what it means, but again, we don't have to worry about we shouldn't have to worry about redistricting because our islands are the districts themselves for our national legislature. So
I actually didn't really understand this until you started talking about redistricting. And then that came to me. I was like, okay.
All right, annotation number 2, State XLRL Douglas v. Bierman, 216, Nebraska 849,347, NW2D 297, year 1984. This constitutional provision does not prohibit reimbursement to legislators for their actual expenses of holding office. This constitutional provision does not prohibit reimbursement to legislators for their actual expenses of holding office. So I guess legislators. Oh no, there's a provision that believes that it's prohibiting reimbursement to legislators for their expenses. Okay, so no, they can still have reimbursements. Okay. Well, that's on an economic standpoint, technically, so we don't have to worry about that one too much. All right, last annotation. State XRL Spire v. Public Emp. Red BD, 226, Nebraska, 176,410. Hey, give me 1 second. Uh, 176,410, NW2D 463, year 1987. According to Legislative Bill 1129, adopted by the Nebraska Legislature on April 16, 1986, created a pension program for members of the legislature that constitutes pay for perquisites, and is in the contravention of this portion of the Constitution and is thus invalid and unenforceable. Ooh. Okay. So, no, legislatures should not have a pension program. Because it's like you're getting paid for services in areas that not everybody can do. So, I'm pretty sure that's what it means anyway. Alright, well, we don't have to worry about that one either. Yay! The Nebraska paper 8 is done, and we don't have to add anything, because everything's already, looks like it's already been regarded. So, yay! Alright, let's go to
Number
Nebraska.
9.
Number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. There we go, I can read. Alright.
Wow. This is as short as 8, maybe less.
It's so good that it never had an annotation. It never had a Supreme Court issue. Regarding the legislative branch of the state of Nebraska, Article 30, Section 8, legislative qualified whether your residence a district with local district effect. Okay. Okay. Well, I can read this one because there's nothing else. No person shall be eligible to the office of member of the legislature unless on the date of the general election at which he is elected or on the date of his appointment he is a registered voter, has attained the age of 21 years, and has resided within the district from which he is elected for the term of 1 year next before his election, unless he shall have been absent on the public business of the United States or this state. And no person elected as aforesaid shall hold his office after he shall have removed from such district. Oh, the people in Nebraska actually made changes to this part of the Constitution twice, actually, in 1992 and 94. The people made changes. Have been omitted. Omitted. I forgot what omitted means.
It means it has been edited or taken out, or something similar to. It's kind of like omitting. It's like saying you're omitting a few details out of the book.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea.
Nebraska Supreme Court, Duggan v. Bierman in 94 and Duggan v. Bierman in 96. Okay, so maybe this one actually had a couple of Supreme Court cases. It's just not on here. All right. Okay. Well, we don't have to worry about number 9. Number 9. I don't see anything from this paper that we can use.
We got 23 papers, and we just made it to number 10.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only one annotation.
We're going to slide by here today.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Well, I guess we could talk about recruiting later. Maybe after a few papers, we could start talking about how to recruit more citizens. Like, we made a lot of plans to recruit a lot of citizens. We just need to actually do them. Like, in the gaming community aspect, I'm working on it. In my county, I'm working on it. But I need help. I can't be the only one person doing it. So, like, someone needs to spread the word around instead of just mixed up the broadcast and the talk show. Someone needs to actually start talking. Talking to friends, talking to family. It ain't just you. It's everybody else got to do it. But it's hard at the same time. But, yeah, maybe we'll talk about that later after a few more papers or something. All right, let's see. Number 10, disqualifications, election to other offices, resignation required. No person holding on there. Okay. We kind of should add this. So, because of our current population, it's what it's saying. You can't have a national position and a county position at the same time. In our case, so even though we actually have that right now, if we were to include this in our bill that we're drafting, that means if you become a legislature, you cannot be anything else. Yet, like, that's your one job until you're no longer in that job. So you can't be like a whatever the counties have. You can't be a county councilman or a county mayor. You can't be any of that kind of thing in our next counties, because you're an elected representative or an appointed representative, or in the federal government in general. Like for me, for example, I can't be in a county position because I'm the prime minister. That's basically what it's saying. Once you're in a federal position, that's your one and only job until you resign. Yeah, that's it. Until you resign. Yeah. Or you're disqualified. Or you lose an election. Or win an election in another position. But that's basically what it means. In a reappeal, Wilkins, 116, Nebraska, 748,219, NW9, year 1928. It was the purpose not to permit any incentive or temptation for emoluments, gains, or position to influence members of the legislature. Oh, okay. So, I guess, Bree, do you think, even in our current situation, or we can add it or we can put in a sunset clause to make it happen later instead of now if it passes, should we make it where once you're elected into a position or appointed into a position, you cannot be in any other position? Now remember, the bill that we're working on is the legislature. So in this case, if someone gets elected representative or is appointed to represent a county until a county gets an elected representative, that's the only position they're allowed to have until they're disqualified, lose an election, or resign. And Bree, I don't know if you just heard that. That was thunder. That was absolutely thunder.
I did not hear that. And to answer to your question, I'm going to have to say until there's more people to work with, I'm going to have to save that for later.
Okay, so in that case, we'll keep our current situation, but put a sunset clause.
That's
Okay, well, not really a sunset clause. No, we can put a sunset clause on the thing I just said. But what should make it? What's the word I'm looking for? What should make it turn off? I guess you could say. It's the only word I could think of. What should make that one turn off? Where now being a legislator is a job and you can't be in any other position. How should we go by population? Should we wait till we get the islands? What do you think?
At least until we have more population-wise.
Population. Okay. You want to suggest a number? We're at 30 now.
I would have to say probably around. We could probably turn it into an actual clause when we get to like 100.
Okay. Okay. Let me get to my thing here.
That way, once it happens and we have that amount of people, it would be less confused if they're not all over the place.
Okay. Let me get to my notes. If I can find it. Here we go. Okay. Oh, shit.
What happened?
Excuse my language, but I think that thunder is getting a little powerful here.
Ooh.
You saw that, right?
No, I did not. I blinked.
My lights flickered. Well, it didn't just flicker. It actually turned off and turned back on.
Oh, I think I saw black there for a minute. I kind of blinked when I saw it.
Give me 1 second. I want to open at least this blind in front of me so I can see outside. So give me 1 second. But I'm going to talk at the same time. So what did we just say? So legislatures, so we can keep our current system now until we reach a population of 100 to actually have it where, okay, if you're a legislator, right, if you're an elected legislator right now, you cannot have any other position. So you have to decide what position you want now. Being a federal legislator or whatever other position you're currently in right now to help fill in the gap. Is that our plan?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's still blue outside.
Really?
Yep, I see and hear rain. Yep. Okay. Like, I heard it was going to rain tonight, but I didn't think it was going to storm. So that's a new one for me.
I didn't think it was going to rain at all. I knew it would
Okay.
rain a little bit. It was cloudy this morning.
Well, it was a little shiny today, so I guess I didn't really expect anything, but it's whatever.
The humidity probably might have been a hint.
Ugh, right. Okay. Yeah, let me write that down. Okay. Let me think real quick. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We keep our current system on current system regarding our legislators to have multiple government positions until we have a population of 100 citizens. Now, is it 100 adult citizens, like 100? I guess for the sake of argument, 100 eligible voters, or 100 citizens in total? Because you have to include the children too.
Well, I guess to be specific, at the very least, I would have to say at least 100 adults. They would have more ability to be able to do more things compared to, like, teenagers that are going into adulthood and being able to vote, and, of course, kids themselves. They would have more ability.
Okay. Once we have reached 100 citizens, adult citizens, legislators cannot have multiple government positions and must decide what to remain as in the government. There we go. There we go. That sounds simple enough. Here, tell me if this is okay. Let me see. How do I do this? How do I do this again? Share system audio? No. Oh, duh. Here we go. We. Okay, this one. Alright, right here. What do you think of that?
That sounds good.
Alright, cool. Awesome. Stop sharing. Okay. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Alright. Testing. It's not showing anything else, right?
No, you're good.
Okay, just checking. Okay, alright, cool. Alright, got that written down. Oh, that was lightning. I saw that.
I'm not sure if it's storming over here on mine, because I'm not hearing anything.
It's storming really bad in Linden County right now.
Mm.
I wonder if I don't know. I'll have to bring that up to the unicameral if that's even relevant. Where am I at again? Oh, right. Okay. Well, where is the thing? Oh, here it is. Okay. Under the Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's move on. Paper number 11. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Okay.
11. Okay. Here we go.
It should stop raining close to midnight.
So they say. All right.
That's what I'm looking at.
Paper number 11. Article 3, Section 10, Legislative Sessions, Time, Quorum, Rules of Procedure, expulsion of members, disrespectful behavior, and penalty. This is something we should add.
It sounds interesting.
Yes, let's read the thing.
Article.
Let's see. Look at that. They even have a time and date.
Mm-hmm. And they even have the exact date as well.
Now remember, dude, this will be in the Constitution, so we'll have to be constitutionally obligated to do those things. So, well, at least me anyway. If I'm even into the new reformed legislative branch, that's still in question. I might have to bring that up with Her Majesty about it.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant governor shall reside. Okay, see, this is what I like about this article. Hell, even though like the first paragraph, or at least the first two paragraphs, I should say, or is the first two? Hold on, majority of the. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, like the first paragraph from beginning with the year 1975 all the way down to equally divided. I love it. They have a time, they have a day, they have a date, and they have a year. And the duration of regular session shall not exceed 90 legislative days in odd number years, unless extended by a vote of 4/5. Oh my God, 4/5 of all members elected to the legislature. Oh, that's right. If it's a unicameral, you're going to need a lot more votes. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's just one house in the entire legislative branch, yeah, you're going to need a lot more votes. 4/5 is a lot of people. Can only vote if the unicameral is equally divided. Okay, this is where I'm stuck at in this one, because I actually want our legislative branch to be like this. Where would me and the Queen fit into the legislative branch, or should one of us stay out of it forever this time?
That is a tricky answer. I mean, yeah, that's a tricky answer to come up with. So honestly, at the moment, not everybody has a perfect attendance record. So I would have to say probably not right now.
What, like not add that kind of rule?
Yes, like it shouldn't be as a rule right now. But when people get better and they start attending meetings more and more and it becomes a frequent thing to where they'll actually commence the meeting themselves instead of us having to worry about it. But at the moment, nobody else is doing that except me and you, so to speak.
So keep our current system, and then okay,
Come back to it later.
let's say we have enough people and there's a lot more attendance now. How should we do this? Like, who should me or the Queen step down from the legislative branch, or should we not be in the legislative branch at all? Because it says here, the lieutenant governor shall preside over the whole thing, but cannot vote. Can only vote when the legislature is equally divided. So, like, if there's like one side votes 50, the other side votes 50, and then the lieutenant governor's there to break the tie.